The Dallas Mavericks go on the road and do something you don't see very often. They won all 4 quarters in a pivotal Game 5. They run away with it and take a 3-2 lead and a chance to close it out on their home floor. An impressive night for the Mavericks. Danny Green, Sam Mitchell, I'm Matt Weiner. Good to have you with us for Playoff Central Live. What did we learn about Dallas tonight?
I mean, the guys came to play. I love that the pace that they played with. Luka learned from his last game of not pressing so much, but, getting downhill, playing at a different pace, switching up the pace. But they set the tone early. They also did a great job defensively of keeping James Harden and Paul George under wraps, unlike the other game they had, both had 30. So if you keep those guys in the wraps, they can't score enough, and you guys push the pace on, you can score a lot more than they can. So
I think for me is watching this team evolve. Like towards the end of the year when they had to really play to stay out of that play-in, and then to watch them play in the playoff, Luka and Kyrie and these guys are playing defense. And then when you look at Gafford and P.J. Washington adding these guys, it brought in size, toughness, more athleticism. So when you look at this Dallas team, I mean, they are really good. And Kyrie and Luka, they set the stage, but their others played well tonight. And again, I'm going to say this. They made the Clippers look old.
Yeah.
They just ran them off the court. And again, it just takes me back to late in the season when the Clippers had the Timberwolves down 18. And when they came back and flipped them and beat them by 18, they asked Anthony Edwards and those guys what was going on. What did they see out there? And they said a lot of mismatches. So, I mean, if you look at the playoffs, some of the teams and some of the stars that we've grown up watching these guys, they're starting to fade, man.
I think we also, we always know, we already know this. We already knew this anyway. Not what we come to learn, but the importance of the role players and how they step up.
Yep.
Got to give a lot of flowers and a lot of credit to Max Kleber coming off the bench, being ready. The guy hit 4 threes, I think, in the first half, had 5 threes for the game, opened up the game. He was the X factor for them tonight. Obviously, Luka sets the table, so does Kyrie, but they trust in their others to do this. Him coming out, knocking down these shots, really helped them set the tone and never look back from that point. So, we said, once again, role players, how important they are, especially in the playoffs, the others, and how they step up in helping your superstars.
And for him, because he's a big, when he's knocking down threes, that's a real matchup problem for whoever he's playing against.
Well, it just opens up the lane. Now Kyrie and other guys can get to the lane. Derrick Jones Jr., those guys can get into the paint. It opens up that lob for Gafford and those guys. But I'm looking at this Dallas team. They're a different team, man. They're playing defense.
Yeah.
I mean, Luka, the thing, and I would joke with Luka to say this, the cat's out the bag. You got to play D now. You've proven to people, some of those guys, and again, we're not saying Luka's a great defender, but he's given the effort, the focus, and the concentration.
Yes.
He's drives. I don't care if you got Rudy Gobert and whoever else back there.
Anthony Davis.
There's nothing they can do. You get beat too quick.
A lot of credit to Dallas defense, but also I'm a little disappointed in Clippers offense. I would like to see early on James and PG be more aggressive like they were in the last game. They needed them big tonight, and they just didn't have the rhythm or show up. So, but nothing to take away from Dallas's defense, but I think Clippers offense could have been better.
Dallas's defense did get better after the trade deadline. I remember they went on that tear where they had won 15 of 17 games just before the end of the regular season. This was always going to be a difficult matchup for whoever the Mavericks faced. Yeah. And the Clippers right now, without Kawhi Leonard on the floor again, getting blown out tonight.
But there's no matchup for Luka. Clippers have no one who can guard him. I mean, you got Terrence Mann, you got all these guys. They have no one can guard him. And so that's the matchup problem right there. Can't guard him.
Kyrie as well. I mean, Luka said doing what he needed to do, taking his time, get downhill, changing pace, trusting his teammates, getting them involved early. But, getting back to his normal self. Even though he had a hurt knee and was sick, he did not look like it or play like it. But he did all these things that we needed him to do, slow down, way more efficient game. And they got out and running. They got better pace, and he trusted his teammates.
20th career postseason game with at least 30 points already in Luka Doncic's.
He's only been in the league, 5 years, 6 years?
Yeah, we'll be hearing from both coaches, stars from the game as well. After the worst playoff loss in terms of margin in Clippers history. And you could joke about that because the old Clippers, first of all, they didn't make the playoffs very much.
No, they did.
Secondly, they didn't fare very well when they got there.
Yeah.
Well, this is going to be interesting how Ty Lue galvanized these guys and getting them ready for Game 6 on the road in Dallas because that building is going to be rocking.
For sure.
They're going to smell an opportunity to close this thing out. Yeah. And Dallas, the question is, would Dallas show up like the Clippers showed up tonight? The Clippers didn't show up at night.
Yeah.
For Game 5, the most important game of the series, they played their tails off to get it back to 2-2, to get it back home for Game 5, and to lay an egg like this, I'm telling you, Ty Lue got to be disappointed.
For sure. Not just Ty Lue, but what else do you think they need from the Clippers for them to show up to win Game 6 on the road?
You just said it. They need James Harden and PG.
Probably Kawhi Leonard, but if not, those guys.
They need those two guys. Those two guys got to have 25 to 30 apiece to win it out.
Then again, they haven't won the games with Kawhi Leonard in this series so far. 0-2 in those games. This was the first game they'd lost without him.
Well, now 1-2, and this one was a bad loss.
Yeah.
So
hard to predict. Clippers offense, to your point, under 38% and just 9 of 35 from three-point range. You know, that can vary. The three-point shooting can vary, obviously, but this was a good three-point shooting team in the regular season. Let's send.
Oh, I love Luka. He don't even take a shower. He come on out and get it done.
Are we going to Luka? We thought we were going to Luka.
Nope.
Now we're going to
Okay,
Luka.
we can kind of see Luka a little bit. Hey, there he is.
When you start the game in the playoffs, it's a different thing. And, you know, there's a lot of adrenaline, a lot of emotion, so you just keep going.
Well, why do you think you guys were able to be so good defensively tonight?
I think we did a great job in a lot of games. There was, I think, 2 halves that we didn't play good defensively, but everybody's on the same page on defense. We're talking, we know what other players like to do, and we just watch a lot of film, we watch scouting, and we just focus. And I think the communication we have on defense is the key, and the energy.
Based on how they were guarding you, what did you think of just Kleber's ability? Based on how they were guarding you and Kyrie, what did you think of Maxi's just ability to stretch the floor out there?
Amazing. I think we created a lot of open shots. We couldn't knock him down, but then Maxi knocked down 3 in a row, so that helped. The whole team, just the energy in the game. You saw the bench was in the game the whole day, the whole time, and it just helped us. He was big, very big today, big shots.
Hey, Luka. So, right here. So, Game 4, James Harden got 33. Today, you guys locked him down to 7 points. What's something different or something special that you guys did from Game 4 to Game 5?
I think D. Jones and PJ, you know, they play great defense. Kyrie was playing great defense, you know, pressuring him the whole time. And like I said, we just locked in, we communicating. We know there's
Or was that just a focus for you personally?
Yeah, my man's obviously out of my shooting the 3 great. Not even good, very bad actually. I was just getting downhill, you know. The first 4 threes I took, it felt great, just didn't go in. But then my mentality was going downhill.
What, having the cold or whatever it is you have, like what does that do throughout a game? Can you explain how it specifically affects you, your stamina, just breathing, stuff like that?
Yeah, it's tough, you know. I can't breathe through nose, so I have to blow my nose every time on. But like I said, you know, it's the adrenaline of the playoff game. It was a big game today, so I know I needed to be locked in very 100%. So it's adrenaline of playoff game, and I like it.
Does it affect your breathing going up and down the court, or?
A little bit, nothing specific.
In what ways would you say you're limited with the knee?
Sorry?
With the knee soreness, in what way would you say you're limited?
I mean, we'll see. Now it's a little bit worse, obviously, after the game, but just I got to do treatment, ice it down, everything I can to be ready to go.
But during the game, does it keep you from making certain?
I mean, it's not really good, but you know, like I talk about adrenaline of playoff game. You know, once you get started, you want to do everything you can to help your team win. So I just try to keep going.
Everybody, thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.